I'm at Lori Berd Castle or Fortress, which it's in the Lori province of Armenia. About 3 or 4 kilometers outside of the city Stepanavan. Look at this. Okay, the walled city and castle of Lori were built by David Anhakin in 1000 to 1025, who transformed it into the second capital of the kingdom of Tashir Choraget. The fortress had a territory of 38 acres, 8.5 hectares of which was the citadel. The construction consisted of the citadel, Shahastan, and suburbs. The fortress was ruled by the princely houses of Kurikyan, Orbelyan, and Zakharyan, respectively. At various times, churches, bathhouses, bridges, and crossstones were built and pined here. The castle hugely suffered and later on was entirely destroyed during the invasion of Chakatoynoyim, brother of Batu Khan, in 1236. The second half of the 18th century, Lori Castle lost its value by becoming a regular fortress. In 1926-31, because of several issues related to water supply, Lori Castle became fully desolated and residents were forcibly moved to the village of Lori Castle of our days. So, let's go inside. So it was 8.5 hectares large, the fortress. The large bathhouse, bridges of Lori Fortress, crossstones, civic house, small bathhouse. Okay, so let's take a look around. Whoa, look at this gorge. I'm not sure which river it is, but I think it's the Yerevan River. I'll have to look that up. This is typical Armenian landscape. Oh, look at a nice little dog. Wonder how friendly he is. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's too much left to see. So, it's a large bathhouse, evidently. It consisted of 3 main parts: a heat room, a bathroom, and a fitting room. Both cold and hot water flowed through the clay pipes into the bathroom. The pipes were placed in a wall, both on each other and parallel to each other. Big basins were placed under the hydrants from where people were able to take water for bathing. The lighting and ventilation of the bathhouse was carried out through holes left in the dome. Both bathrooms and fitting rooms had double floors, through which the furnace smoke was able to warm up the upper floor. I guess this is a Roman-style bathhouse then. They had double floors. That's how the Romans would build their bathhouses. Huh. There isn't that much left. Guess that was a heating room. Hard to say. You see the remains of the walls over there. Looks like there were some buildings in between here and the wall. But there's not really much left to see of the buildings. Well, you can tell how uneven the ground is. There probably were many more structures, many more buildings here. So what is this? A sign? This could be the remains of the church. Wonder what I could. Yes. The remains of the church. You can see how the arches were built. Which is actually very interesting. Shows the craftsmanship. And you can also see in some areas that the walls were one time plastered. That must have been a basin for the baptism, or for holy water for baptism. You can see part of the original floor. It's a very small church. The outside of the church, or what remains of the church. This was a very big fortress at one time. Remains of the fortress wall. The small bathhouse. Being built on the edge of the Joragat Gorge, the small bathroom provided even more favorable conditions for exploitation. Due to its location, issues such as water supply and sanitation were easily solved. In order to provide a constant water supply about 30 meters north from the small bathhouse, ample water storage was constructed. The small bathhouse also consisted of a heat room, a bathroom, a fitting room, and it was covered with domes and semi-cylindrical block systems. The water supply was carried out through the clay pipes. Water was brought from the Miskana River and nearby sources that were 5 kilometers distant. So they didn't bring the water up from the gorge. I guess it's the Joragat Gorge of the Joragat River, and not the Hradsten, like I said earlier. But you look at this and you can only be amazed by what nature creates. Okay. Guess it was one of the, those are the pipes that brought water in. Guess that must have been where you could take water out. Must have been a basin of some kind. I know there isn't that much to see, but you do see rocks that were probably part of a building or a wall of some kind at one time. You see how uneven the ground is. What they do here in Armenia is they excavate as much as possible, and when they think they found everything that's worth finding, or when the money runs out, whichever comes first, they cover everything up again to preserve it and to keep people from looting. This fortress had 3 natural walls. There's a natural wall on 3 sides. It's the Joragat Gorge. It's impossible to attack from those sides because the gorge walls are almost vertical, and and it would be very easy to defend. So all I needed was that fortress wall up there to defend against an attack from some kind of an enemy. I just love the landscape. The hills, plains, forests of Armenia. It's also beautiful. And Armenia is called the land of rocks. It has a very volcanic origin. So there's a lot of rocks in the soil, which makes it difficult for agriculture because the humus layer isn't that thick, and they're always digging up stones when they plow their fields. So today, my second stop, actually third stop at Dendropark. It's a huge park area. You have to buy a ticket to get in. It costs 1,000 drams, which is not even €2. A sequoia tree, supposedly. All different kinds of trees, actually. And some very exotic plants. It's quite a nice area, from what I can tell. Because this is a great place to spend an afternoon with your family. It's about 10-15 kilometers from Stepanavan.
Garlic with
Okay. Do not make fire, do not damage trees or pick flowers, do not litter, do not trample on the grass. Okay, sounds reasonable. Fantastic. I have to walk uphill. So, there's a nice map that explains what you could find where. Then, of course, it's all in Armenian. So where are we? I guess it's the entrance. is this? There's a sign on it, but I can't read it. Roses. So, apparently this is the founder of the park, Edmund Leonowicz. He's Polish, a Polish dendrologist, founder and director of Sochut Arboretum from 1933 to 84. That is the house the founder and director lived in. If I'm not wrong, his son is now director of the park. Let's take a look what's in here. It appears to be a nursery. Okay, an outhouse. Nice toilet. A greenhouse has nursery. Okay. There's a water fountain. All rather primitive. As you can see, there's a large variety of plants here. I don't know which ones there are. But I don't think all the plants grow here are from Armenia. Some more roses. This is the gravestone, the burial place grave of Edmund Leonovich, the founder of the park. A nice little bird over there. Makes a lot of noise. So if anyone knows what kind of bird that is. Okay. There are trees planted everywhere with signs on them that I cannot read. The Latin name does not help. They should start adding English names on it to the signs. Then of course this is an Armenian park, so the area around Stepanavan is much cooler than Yerevan, and the plains around Yerevan it's much higher, and the winters are colder, much more harsh, with much more snow than they get in Yerevan. Right now we have 28 degrees in Stepanavan, and I think the weather forecast said 38 degrees for Yerevan, so it is a bit cooler today. Let's continue our journey now. So, if I'm not wrong, those are sequoias. Yes, they can get to 4,500 years old and 80 meters or 100 meters tall. So these are actually still baby trees. I'm actually surprised they grow here. Because the summers are very hot. But the winters here get very cold. With a lot of snow. Yes. Sequoia Dendron gigantum. I guess these are the redwood trees, the sequoias. So where do I go from here? I think I'll go uphill. It's a much larger greenhouse. But I doubt we're allowed to go inside. But it shouldn't hurt. Take a look. Fir trees. This is a cozy little house. Looks like someone's living in it. A satellite dish. Well, if you live nearby and you want to have a nice afternoon with your loved one or with your family, this would be a nice place to go. A large variety of flowers, shaded walkways, benches where you can sit and rest. Like that one right there. A nice little table. So you pack out your lunch and eat if you brought one, which I didn't. And I'm actually getting a little hungry. So, there's a little bridge up here. Legend has it, or maybe it's myth, that if you come to the park for the first time and you cross the bridge and you make a wish, it's supposed to come true. Just have to believe. So we'll give it a try. Can't hurt. Oh, that was completed. Let's just wait and see if it comes true. No, I think I'll just go down this way and head back towards the entrance. Walking downhill is much easier than walking uphill. I wish they would give you a map of the park so you know where you're going and you don't miss anything important or really what's really nice to look at. I just more or less stumbled across the sequoias. Everywhere you continuously come across little sitting areas surrounded by bushes or near a flower bed. People are looking. Oh. I'm heading back to the entrance. It is a very nice park. I just wished I could read Armenian or could understand Latin. Then it would be much more interesting, because then you would know what trees are planted where and what kind of flowers or plants are growing where. Just know that many types of plants and trees and flowers that aren't native to Armenia are planted here and raised here, cultivated. So, there's the gate. It's all for now. So, and like at any tourist attraction in Armenia, you have keeping some fruits and marmalade and all kinds of local products. You can get corn if you want, some ice cream. Well, I'd get some ice cream out here. But you have the chance. So, my car's parked right here. So, this is St. Nicholas Wonderworker Church. It's a Russian Orthodox church. It's not Greek, Armenia Apostolic. It was severely damaged during the 1988 earthquake and has been closed ever since. Oh, I gotta watch my step. So it's believed the church was founded in the 1840s. Looks like the arch over the entranceway was collapsed. The whole roof structure over the entrance remains. Stairway up to the bell tower. Wonder if we can get a look inside somehow, but it's all boarded up. So no one can get inside. But you can't really get a view inside either. I don't think it will be standing much longer if nothing is done to repair it. Roof is open, that means nothing has stopped the rain from entering the building and rotting away at the structure. You can tell by the way the paint is peeling that the walls are moist. Probably lots of mildew on the walls. The belfry. It's all rotting away because the roof is damaged and hasn't been repaired. And a big padlock on the door. It is believed that Amrakits was founded in 1852 by Slavic families. These families had originally relocated to Georgia from Ukraine. I think it would be a very nice church if it was still intact. Yeah, I think it can be salvaged because what I see from down here, all the wooden beams that support the roof seem intact. They haven't rotted away too much yet, so it's time someone invested some money to rebuild this beautiful church to its original state. And once the roof is closed up and no water can enter it anymore, the walls will eventually dry up too. Well,